What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. For those who are new here, hello and welcome. And for all of my returning subscribers, hey. So today we are going to be planting our squash, and cucumber plants. So follow me out to the garden and let's get going. All right, so here is where I will be placing a majority of my cucumbers and squash vining plants anyways. We'll go up on this side because once I clear out all of my garlic, there will be more sun to come in to allow them to grow. And by the time the cucumbers are starting to pewter out, they will make their way all the way over and quite possibly take over this side of the bed. So I have a few different types that I wanted to try out. I have a honey nut and a tromboncino squash. The honey nut is a winter variety, and the tromboncino, you can eat it as a early summer squash, or you can also allow it to get to full maturity and become a winter squash. So those are the two things that I will be planting on this side, and I will kind of allow enough space because I'm also thinking about putting in some cucamelons on this side also. So we'll see how that goes. So this I will put over here, and then all of the cucumbers will go over here. I don't think that they'll make it all the way over, which again is why I'm starting over here with the larger vining squash, because I feel like they will take over this trellis. So on this side, I will be putting the Armenian cucumber. I have the lemon cucumber, and I also wanted to direct sow a few things that I just forgot to plant. So let's go on ahead and get down to it. I also, like I said, I picked up my seeds because I do want to do some direct sowing as well. So we have those handy. I have some fertilizer, and I'm also going to put a layer of black cow in these areas as well. So let's just get down to it. All right, and something that I did update you guys on already was the fact that I direct sowed some noodle beans over here, and I believe I put a stick down. Hopefully it's still there to kind of indicate where I stopped. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm good. I know I'm stopping right about here, so I'm thinking I'll put one here and one here. And I may end up, like I said, I'm thinking about direct sowing one other vining squash. So, yeah. All right, so the tromboncino is quite leggy, so I am going to bury the stem a little bit. And I've seen recently one of the girls that I follow over on Instagram, she kind of did a test run of burying the stem for some of her squashes, and she had success with them growing roots along the side. So I'm confident that I should be good and I won't rot my plant out. So I am just using what fertilizer I have, which is a heirloom tomato. I had Garden Tone, but I'm all out. So I'm again just using what I got. So I'm going a little bit deeper again with this tromboncino. And this already has its second leaves beginning to unfurl, so I think they should be good. So this guy will go up here. And again, I'm thinking about putting some cucamelons right along the edge. Then here we have space for our honey nut. Okay. And then right in the middle here, I'm going to go on ahead and direct sew a little something. So let's go through here. What do I want to use? What do I want to use? So I have a sugar pie pumpkin or a watermelon, a sugar baby. These seeds are kind of old, so you know what? I'm gonna go with the watermelon, and I may find another place on my property to sow these pumpkins because I really want to try growing my own pumpkins, even though I don't have just a whole lot of space. I think that I can put it anywhere in the landscape and it should be fine. And like I said, these are old, so I'm going to put a few of these in here in one hole. So let's put 3 just to be on the safe side. All right, and going ahead and put my markers in place. I think I lost my other one, but that's okay. What can I do? I'll put that here, and what I'll do later is just take a picture of this side of the trellis so I can remember what I put where. All right, so we got everything in. You can see over here I have the watermelon and the cucamelons, doing this more so for my own notes. And then I went on ahead and direct sowed the Ashley cucumber, which was the very first cucumber I ever grew successfully. And then we have the silver slicer, the Armenian, and the lemon. And again, on the remaining front portion of this trellis are the noodle beans. All right, so on the other side of this bed where the garlic is, I decided to go on ahead and line the outside portion with the squash. I'm hoping that putting the squash in with this garlic will help with the squash bugs, because I've always ended up having my squash taken out by the motherfuckers. So I have these stakes here because I will be trellising these up, and eventually I'll probably go on ahead and harvest this row here as these do fill out a little bit. But for now, let's go on ahead and put them in. There's 2 that I have from seedlings, and then we are going to direct sow 1. All right, so I realized my mic went out, but I have all of my squashes planted. This is the third variety that I planted, which was the early prolific straight neck. I grew this last year. This was pretty much the only squash that I actually harvested because the squash bugs gotta play us. So we're all done here. There's one more thing, and I want to try something a little different. All right, so the final variety that I have to transplant is the pickle bush. So the pickle bush is supposed to be a container friendly bushing variety of pickle. It is by, I'll have to think about it and I'll put it up on the screen. But I wanted to try to put this variety in a container, and this is just on the side of my deck here. So we are going to transplant this in here, and I am going to use just like your standard tomato trellis to keep it contained and just see how it goes. I did put fresh potting soil in this container here, but let's go ahead and add some fertilizer. All right, and so how I want to plant this is kind of along the side. That way, once it does begin to grow up, I can clip it on to our trellis with no problem. Don't want to put it right dead in the center because then I'll have to, maneuver it around too much, and I don't know how this is going to go. So I just want to play it safe and do what is smartest to me, and I think that just makes the most sense. Ahead, pop this baby in here, and the other plant that I have in here is a anise hyssop that I found on the other side of my property. I used to have it in my garden bed, but I took it out, and I'm glad that I found it elsewhere because I actually regretted it because it brought so many pollinators. So we have that in here. Hopefully you can see that pretty well, and that wraps up everything. All right, so that wraps up this video. I hope that you all enjoyed watching me as I plan out my squash and cucumbers. If you did, please make sure that you hit this with a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the video, go on ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And until the next time, I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity. Peace out.